Minnesota's a 2.5 point favorite. And look, this one got hit really fast. We didn't even talk about this on Sunday night. The game opened late Sunday afternoon, and the Vikings were like a 0.5 point favorite. And within less than an hour, the Vikings were all of a sudden at 2.5. And so, what is that telling you right now?
That this game is over in Europe. That's really what this line's telling me. Historically, if you just are trending better, you always bet the favorites when it's over in England. It's just historically that's the team that usually covers and wins. To me, this is a game I wanted to be all over the Jets, and I was pissed when I found out this was in England because it's like, okay, if this was in Minnesota, this line probably would have been 4.5, 5. The value would have been on the Jets, and this is a good matchup for Aaron Rodgers. Like this defense that Flores is running, it's really good against young, inexperienced quarterbacks that really haven't seen a lot of exotic, type of defenses. Aaron Rodgers has seen it all. He'd be able to figure it out and pick it apart. And now I want to join the general public and just take the Vikings because this is an international game. I usually just blindly bet the favorites here, but I'll wait. If this gets to 3, I'll throw a little on the Jets, but same kind of thing. It's just a game I'm not going to really be betting heavy because I just hate betting these international games. And if there's any type of rain, there's no way I'm betting on the Jets. They looked so horrible in that rain last week. That's more reasons to bet this Vikings team. They just look like the more comfortable, more complete team right now. But this is usually the type of game we like to go the other way on, especially against a team that's 4-0 against the spread and 4-0 against the season. But might have to wait another week, Chad. Don't know if we're going to mess with this international one.
No, look, the favorites are 34-10 straight up and 30-15
Jeez.
against the spread. I know, right?
That's crazy.
There is a bigger question here. And like you're right about Brian Flores and what he has been able to do. This Jets team, I feel like when you have to manage people as a boss, you have to be so cognizant of what you're saying at all times. And oftentimes you need to play to the nuance of language. And I feel like to make sure that like everyone is on the same page or to make sure that people aren't getting upset about the way you're saying something or what you're saying, I feel like Robert Saleh is at that stage of the relationship with Aaron Rodgers, where every week they are trying to explain something to show that their relationship is fine. 2 weeks ago, it was the hug, right? This week, there's a story when he's talking about the cadence, he's talking about the operation. Then he needs to backtrack and say, our operation is great. We're trying to push the edge of the envelope with the cadence, all because there were 5 false starts for the Jets this past week. And they look like an undisciplined, poorly coached team. And Aaron Rodgers is getting frustrated with this. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, have you noticed that? Do you see that? To me, that doesn't bode well for this Jets team right now.
Yeah, I don't mind that stuff at all, honestly. I think it's a good open dialogue, but I liked what Aaron Rodgers said back of, well, maybe we should just hold people accountable, which is the damn truth. It's like, you're out of your mind, Salah, if you think Aaron Rodgers should change the type of style he plays, especially what he does at the offensive line. It's a rhythm thing. They'll get it together. That's just a classic throw the game out. If their kicker didn't miss that field goal, they would have won the game. And then who really cares, right? But obviously, it's not ideal. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't care. It's just that's the way their team's going to be, right? I think Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that he will always speak his mind, especially to the media. We've seen that when he goes on his weekly show every week. So it's like he doesn't matter putting it out there. So if Salah's gonna open himself up to that stuff, Salah's gonna get a lot of pushback.
I mean, poor Salah. He finally gets a quarterback that can maybe help this team win. And it just happens to be the most unmanageable quarterback who's going to make him
Oh,
look
come on.
he cannot control this team in any way, shape, or form at any time.
I would say he can control his defense, but this is Aaron Rodgers' offense. So I that's why I think Aaron was a little pissy, where it's just like, he had a dog shit game. The offense played like shit. the defense played great, and I think that's why there's a little bit of headbutting there. But yeah, not ideal like you're saying.